I have a phone usage problem.
Nomophobia is a term we came across when preparing our next story. It's a mashup of no mobile phone phobia.
The iPhone not only has changed how we entertain ourselves and how we communicate, but it's also in the process of changing a slew of other industries.
But is technology driving us to damage our bodies, even our minds?
The average American spends 229 minutes a day on their phone. If we extrapolate that out for a lifetime, that's almost 8 years spent looking at a screen. Apps have created a bunch of clever ways in order to get us to constantly be using them. Whether it's a notification or an algorithm that sucks you in, phones are designed to make you use them as long as possible. So I'm going to avoid phones as much as I can for the next week. These numbers are going to be kind of embarrassing. I use my phone a lot. I have a lot of screen time. About 2/3 of my screen time is spent watching YouTube, and most of the time I'm watching YouTube, it's technically just sitting down on the desk while I'm working at work, and I'm just like sort of listening to what the person is saying. I like to listen to podcast visual form in case they say something. So just keep that in mind before you totally rip me. But on average, I use my phone 5 hours and 54 minutes, with 8 hours and 30 minutes of that going to social. That'll include Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube Studio, along with messages. YouTube Studio I spend too much time on. And then creativity, that's 5 hours and 8 minutes. And then entertainment, that would be just strictly listening to YouTube or the podcast app. That would be 21 hours and 39 minutes, with 21 hours and 15 minutes of that to YouTube. That's terrible. I mean, that is like 100% embarrassing. I am using my phone way too much. I think I've justified the usage because, well, it's okay. I'm using my phone because it's just sitting in front of me. But there are still hours and hours and hours of that. In a week, I spend 14 hours not watching YouTube. And to say that all of my YouTube time is just while I work would be 100% disingenuous and a lie. So I'm going to correct that. I'm going to spend the next week only using my phone for 10 minutes a day of screen time. That means I can still listen to podcasts in the meantime, which I think is probably a good thing. I much prefer podcasts. It's probably a lot better to listen to something like that, or maybe even potentially one of these videos, than it is to just watch a video of like Warzone highlights or something stupid like that, where it's no substance, no value. It kind of just makes your brain dead. On top of that, I feel like I have some problems. I don't have the best posture ever, and I would like to correct that. I was reading an article today where they say that one of the problems with using your phone too much is you have bad posture and your neck just points straight down. I don't think it's something that I'm on the cusp of doing something completely horrendous, but I do think it's a problem that I definitely need to correct. And I think by only using my screen for 10 minutes a day, I think that that'll really benefit me. So what am I going to do in the meantime? Well, while I'm working, I'll just have to listen to podcasts. That's just gonna have to be the medium in which I listen to podcasts. I won't be able to watch anything, just strictly listening to podcasts. That's going to be tough for me. I know that I enjoy watching podcasts as they go, but I do think that listening to podcasts will be totally fine. I'll get the same message. I'm not going to miss on barely anything. If I really want to check something, I can have 10 minutes to click on that part of the podcast on a YouTube video and find it. So that's what I'm going to do. Also, in the meantime, I'm going to be reading a lot more. I really enjoy reading. I'm not the fastest reader of all time. I'm definitely not going to lie about that. My wife is far faster than me, but I do enjoy reading a lot. I think it's really good for me, and I know that it'll be a lot better for my eyes instead of just staring at a phone, a bright white screen at night when I'm laying in bed at midnight because I can't quite fall asleep yet. I think reading a book before I go to bed will be a lot better for me as opposed to staring at my phone. And even if I stared at my phone for 10 minutes, that's the only 10 minutes I got for the entire day. I think that's going to be really good for me. I'm also going to try and work out a little bit more. I normally go about 3 times a week. I'm going to try up that to about 7 and just spend more time there, go for more runs, go for more walks, just be a little bit more active at the gym. I normally just lift weights and leave, so I'm going to try and move a little bit more and then be at the gym a little bit longer. This is a problem that isn't just my own. With COVID, with all of the lockdowns, with all of these things, people have just been cooped up and trapped in their homes. The easiest thing to grab and go to is a phone. I mean, think about it. It's something that's literally on your person at all times. It's constantly within arm's reach, literally arm's reach. I'm going to try and break myself of that. I have a video planned for this week, which is my 10 minutes a day. And then next week, I'm going to be using an iPhone 4 for an entire week, and I'm going to see how that treats me. I think that this iPhone 11 is too nice. I love this phone. I have no problems buying this phone. I don't regret purchasing this phone. However, it's so nice. I enjoy it a little too much, and I think I need to make sure I'm doing things outside of looking at my phone. I've done some math. If I keep up this pace, I'm going to spend over 10 years of my life just looking at my phone, and that doesn't include sleeping. That could potentially be 1/8 of my life is just looking at a phone. I don't want that to be my reality. I don't want that for me, and I don't really want that for you or anybody. So 10 minutes a day is extreme. That's almost nothing. 10 minutes a day, I think I'm already at like almost a minute just trying to pull up the facts for this video, but 10 minutes a day is all I'm allowing myself. I'm going to try my best. I imagine I'll probably hit 12 minutes a day if I need to send a text message or something. Things will happen, but I'm going 10 minutes a day. No YouTube, no YouTube Studio, no checking anything. It's just 10 minutes a day. A few things I'm worried about is instead of checking my phone, I might just play on my computer instead. So I'm going to make sure that the only time I'm using my computer during this whole time is while I'm editing videos or coming up with video ideas for my channel. I'm going 30 videos in 30 days every single day. So I have to use my computer. I'm gonna have to use screens. I'm gonna have to work. So I'm gonna have to use my computer. So I'm definitely going to make sure that when I have the free time and I'm not editing videos, I'm not going to be on my screens. I'm not going to be playing video games. I'm going to be doing something else, whether that's just sleeping or it's doing anything else. I think it'll definitely help me out. If you'd like to follow along with this, what you can do is go into your settings app on your iPhone, go to screen time and change it to 10 minutes. And that's all you get. So if you'd like to do that, I think I would really encourage you to do it. We could all sort of try this together. And I will see you in the next one. And in a week, we will follow up and see how I'm doing with 10 minutes a day, if I even made it. Peace out.